West Ham are planning a march into the semi-finals. By the left, the trusty left of Liam Brady, a precocious talent with Arsenal in the late 70s, a master strategist in the midfields of Italy, 2 championships with Juventus and spells with Sampdoria and Inter Milan, and now the mastermind at West Ham and perfectly capable of providing the sting. Alan McInally of Aston Villa doesn't score goals like that. He scores a lot more, though. West Ham don't need reminding. 2 out of 21 this season came at Upton Park. The Glamour clubs didn't have it all their own way in the Littlewoods Cup last season either. Luton sorted that. In defence of the trophy, they won in such splendid fashion. So far, so good. They're at home to the First Division's current fall guy, Southampton. 18 goals against in their last 5 games, including 6 at Kenilworth Road. So half a dozen First Division clubs remain, 1 from the second, that's Bradford City, 1 from the third, Bristol City. We'll have news and action from their tie at Valley Parade a little later on. Well, also tonight, the European Figure Skating Championships from the NEC in Birmingham. A scene set now and a midweek sports special exclusive from Nick Owen.
Yes, I was just perfecting my triple axel when I slid into one of the best-known football managers in Europe, Ron Atkinson, who should, of course, by rights, be in Spain. Ron, can you confirm you've actually lost your job at Atletico Madrid?
Well, at this moment in time, no one from the club has actually said that. But I've got a fair idea that I might not have a job at the moment.
You have had a phone call, though, haven't you?
Not...
From Colin Addison.
Well, Colin rang me on Monday. Yeah, Monday, just after I'd arrived back in England, to tell me he'd been offered my job, which I thought, well, there could be a few problems. But since then, I've not had any direct contact at all with the president.
Why has it gone wrong so quickly, do you think?
Nick, I've got to tell you this. I honestly wish I knew. I mean, I've always worked on the premise that, by and large, managers are judged by results. And by no stretch of the imagination could anyone say we've had a bad time. I mean, we've gone from the bottom of the league, virtually the bottom of the league, into a third place. It's my belief that the club will finish up in Europe this year, which was something, you know, I was aiming for.
But they're claiming you weren't taking the job seriously enough, apparently.
I've seen all sorts of things coming out from Madrid, and until somebody actually tells me directly what the problems were, I'm going to reserve judgment. I mean, I say let the record speak for itself. There's the record on the table.
What about the language trouble?
No, most of them were learning to speak English. We were getting that sort of right. No, obviously, I didn't speak fluent Spanish, that's for sure. I didn't speak any Spanish.
Were you making an effort to learn the language?
Well, I was having lessons 2 or 3 times a week. It had got to the stage where training sessions and so forth, I would do on my own without the aid of an interpreter, which had been the original intention. But, I mean, it's reasonable to say I don't speak fluent Spanish, that's for sure.
Now, people are going to say that here are you with a dream job, a lot of money, a lot of publicity, it's all you ever wanted, yet in less than 100 days, it's all gone. They're going to say you've really messed it up, aren't they?
No, you're saying I've messed it up, Nick.
Well, I mean,
he's going from the bottom of the league to 3rd position. I think if that had been achieved anywhere else in the world, I'd be looked upon as something of a useful football manager.
You're keeping your spirits up, but your pride must be dented somewhere.
Oh, I'm stirred. I tell you what, I'm right annoyed. That's for sure. But I'll keep my cool a little bit. So I'm going out to Madrid tomorrow. I'm going to talk to the president and see exactly. I mean, as I say, I've seen a lot of reports secondhand. What's supposed to have happened, what hasn't supposed to have happened. All I know is I went out there, worked very hard, and got them into a position that at the start, the previous when we went there, hadn't looked or had looked a long, long way off.
Well, good luck with your meeting, Ron. Thanks for coming to talk to us. Well, with Ron apparently frozen out in Madrid, let's return to the ice rink here at the NEC, where tremendous controversy has been stirred up by a Soviet girl's barefaced cheek in her choice of costume. You may remember that the East German Katharina Witt's outfit at the Winter Olympics upset a few last year. A less than generous rival described her gear as little more than a G-string. The rules were then changed, banning immodest or theatrical costumes. Now again from behind the Iron Curtain comes dancer Maya Yusova of the Soviet Union. This little green number in the rumba has enraged some of her rivals. Theatrical, immodest, even saucy, they say, and points should have been deducted. Or at least she should have had a dressing down. The full story later.
And the Soviets' top man, Alexander Fadeev, is also causing something of a Russian revolution with his outrageous costume complete with sequin gloves with claws on. His rivals had better keep their distance.
And all the other top figure skaters in stage 2 of the men's competition later, and also the final of the pairs. We'll see you then, Elton.
Thanks very much indeed, Nick, Ali. Dear, oh dear, hey, the liberties some people take. Well, now tonight's other headlines. Football, Watford winger Rick Holden ended the FA Cup marathon with Newcastle. His goal in the 113th minute put the second division side into the 4th round after 450 minutes of football. Aussie Ard Delays, the QPR midfielder, broke his leg during the Littlewoods Cup quarter-final with Nottingham Forest. The goal's coming up. Glamorgan's new signing, Viv Richards, with 60 not out, steered the West Indies to a 2-1 victory over the Australians with 28 deliveries to spare in the final game of the World Series Cup in Sydney. And Gary Mason is the new British heavyweight champion. He knocked out Trevor Curry in the 4th round this evening at the Albert Hall. Incidentally, we'll be having Colin Addison's version of the Atletico Madrid affair a little later on. Well, let's discover how the Littlewoods Cup favourites got on tonight. Nottingham Forest at home to Queen's Park Rangers. QPR without their player-manager, Trevor Francis, a one-time European Cup winner with Forest. Bob Hall at the City Ground.
Brian Clough started the night in jaunty mood, finding toes to tread on even before kick-off. Forest's superiority belied a team who have won only 2 league home games this season, but with a little help from Karen Chettle, Lee Chapman put them ahead. Only minutes later to see Brian Steen put Rangers level. Even they couldn't believe that after 20 minutes they were still in the game. But it was destined to be Lee Chapman's night. Maddox lost control, and that left the big centre-forward with the chance to show his skill. Could it really be this easy? Well, yes, it was. Dean Coney got an illegal hand to Franz Carr's chip. Referee Tyson said yes to a penalty, and then had to sort out Simon Barker, who protested too much to the linesman and was booked for his silliness. Clough Jr., Master Nigel, made no mistake, and before half-time, Forest were 3-1 up. Then Lee Chapman got Danny Maddox's legs all of a tangle, and 4 defenders later, it was his hat-trick. If it was his, it wasn't Simon Barker's night. Trying to defend, he lost control to Hodge and Pearce, and that was Chapman's 4th. No disrespect, but it scarcely mattered when this cross got the Forest defence in a tangle and Kerslake made it 5-2. Delighted if misguided Forest fans invaded the pitch at the end to congratulate their team, but they hadn't reckoned with Brian Clough. Forest disciplinarian manager soon made his feelings and presence felt before stewards or mounted police could move in and clear the pitch.
And you've just seen tomorrow's back page headlines, that's for sure. So, the favourites through. After the break, the pick of the quarter-final ties. West Ham against Aston Villa. Join us again.
With over 300 cars to choose from, with your car as full deposit and with up to £500 cash back on selected models, it's easy to see why so many drivers choose Bristol Street Motors for their new used car. Bristol Street Motors, Newcastle and Sunderland. There really isn't a better way to buy your new used car.
Runny nose, sore throat, coughs, sneezes, and the shivers. Wouldn't it be nice if you could get relief from all these misery-making cold symptoms? Well, you can, with Day Nurse and Night Nurse. Day Nurse relieves your symptoms without causing drowsiness throughout the day. And Night Nurse relieves them during the night. So help say good riddance to bad cold and flu symptoms with Day Nurse and Night Nurse from Beecham.
Late again, Richard.
It's the car. Head and shoulders. I didn't know you had dandruff.
I don't.
Well, if you don't, who does?
You can't always tell the people who do use Head and Shoulders quite as easily as those who don't.
With an ordinary medicated shampoo, dandruff can still be there. But with Head and Shoulders used regularly, it's completely clear. Don't have dandruff. Have great-looking hair with Head and Shoulders shampoo and new conditioner.
Welcome back. Even by their own high standards of inconsistency, West Ham's season has been a curious mix of ups and downs, next to bottom in the First Division, winners over Liverpool and Arsenal in the two major cup competitions. It's pointless trying to fathom it out, but a trip to Upton Park is always well worthwhile. Commentator Martin Tyler.
Other opportunities, but at half-time at Upton Park in this Littlewoods Cup quarter-final, they lead Aston Villa by 1-0.
Barbican, alcohol-free.
What do you think?
Who are they trying to fool?
It ain't the heart throb of the 12th grade. Hey, you wanna dance?
Put life in your equipment. Long life, ever-ready gold seal, the heart of the machine.
As with many things in this life, grace and beauty on the surface often belie the activity beneath. A 1989 Vauxhall Senator, engineered for unruffled grace.
Saving has never been the most riveting of subjects. So Lloyd's Bank have asked us, me, to tell you about their new instant savings account.
For instance, it gives you very competitive rates of interest. And what's more, the interest rates actually go up in stages. The more you save, the more you get. But best of all, you get instant access and no penalties with... He's got it. Thanks. With this, an international ATM card. That's a cash point card to the rest of us. You can use it to get at your savings 7 days of the week.
Sorry, would you mind? I'm late. You're not him. You're a girl.
How observant.
Good grief, a female? Whatever next?
A horse?
The new instant savings account from Lloyd's Bank.
Hurry along for big savings in Dickens' Mad sale. 8x4 non-slip frost-proof floor tiles, 15p each. Giant 10-litre size emulsion paint, £4.99. Universal fitting 4-foot fluorescent tubes, £1.25. Sink mixer taps with thread fitting for garden hose, £13.99. Choose the complete Venice bathroom suite, only £149.95. And the bath carries a 20-year guarantee.
Dickens, make it easy.
What was World War II really like for the men and women who fought in it?
Beim Vormarsch dachten wir ständig an zu Hause und an unsere Familien.
Find out in Images of War, a new fortnightly publication that uses eyewitnesses and reprints of newspapers of the day to tell the real story of the major battles. You'll get details of weaponry. Maps let you compare strategies, and the people who stayed behind here and in Germany tell of the war they fought to survive. Get Images of War and see World War II through the eyes of the people who fought it.